हेलो फ्रेंड्स, वेलकम टू मनु लॉ क्लासेस। मेरा नाम गौतम दीक्षित है, जीके एंड करंट अफेयर्स फैकल्टी। आज के इस वीडियो में हम अक्टूबर 14, 2021 का डेली हिंदू न्यूज़ एनालिसिस करेंगे। आज हम पहले के इम्पॉर्टेंट जो 5 टॉपिक्स हैं आज के, पहले हम उस पर ध्यान देते हैं। द फर्स्ट इम्पॉर्टेंट टॉपिक इज कमिंग अबाउट द बॉर्डर सिक्योरिटी फोर्स और इट इज़ ऑल्सो कॉल्ड एज BSF। BSF के बारे में हम पहले से एक फैक्चुअल इंफॉर्मेशन ले लेते हैं। सो BSF इट वाज एस्टेब्लिश्ड इन 1965. दैट इज द फर्स्ट इंपॉर्टेंट इंफॉर्मेशन. इट वाज एस्टेब्लिश्ड इन 1965. द BSF it guards the border of Pakistan and Bangladesh. So Pakistan and Bangladesh border is guarded by BSF, and currently the Director General of BSF is Pankaj Kumar Singh. Now अब हम आते हैं कि न्यूज़ विच इज़ कमिंग। तो अगर हम इसमें इंपॉर्टेंट पॉइंटर्स देखें तो द फर्स्ट इंपॉर्टेंट पॉइंट विच इज़ कमिंग इज दैट द यूनियन होम मिनिस्ट्री अंडर विच द BSF functions. So the BSF, like other paramilitary forces, they function under the Union Home Ministry. So the Union Home Ministry has enhanced the powers of Border Security Force for arrest, search and seize within 50 km from the international boundary in areas which are in the states which are bordering the Pakistan and Bangladesh border. So those are Assam, West Bengal and Punjab. Already अगर हम देखें सो एक अक्टूबर 11 का जो नोटिफिकेशन है, इट रिप्लेसेस अ 2014 ऑर्डर अंडर द BSF एक्ट 1968 जो स्टेट्स ऑफ मणिपुर, मिजोरम, त्रिपुरा, नागालैंड एंड मेघालय को कवर करता है। सो नाउ BSF जो है वो एक सेंट्रल आर्म्ड पुलिस फोर्स है। द अदर सेंट्रल आर्म्ड पुलिस फोर्सेस आर ITBP, इंडो तिब्बतन बॉर्डर पुलिस फोर्स, देन सशस्त्र सीमा बल, देन सेंट्रल इंडस्ट्रियल सिक्योरिटी फोर्सेस. दीज आर द अदर पैरामिलिट्री फोर्सेस और आर्म्ड पुलिस फोर्स अंडर द यूनियन होम मिनिस्ट्री. नाउ ये जो सर्च अरेस्ट एंड सीज का जो ऑपरेशन है, नाउ इट हैज़ बीन ऑल्सो एक्सटेंडेड टू यूनियन टेरिटरीज ऑफ जम्मू एंड कश्मीर एंड लद्दाख. नाउ अर्लियर जो था BSF की जो लिमिट थी वो फिक्स थी अप टू 80 किलोमीटर फ्रॉम द इंटरनेशनल बाउंड्री इन गुजरात एंड 15 किलोमीटर इन राजस्थान, पंजाब, वेस्ट बंगाल एंड असम. अब उसको एक स्टैंडर्ड कर दिया गया है, दैट इज़ 50 किलोमीटर ऑल अलोंग द इंटरनेशनल बॉर्डर. नाउ वाई स्टेट्स आर प्रोटेस्टिंग. नाउ टू अंडरस्टैंड कि वाई स्टेट्स आर प्रोटेस्टिंग, सो वी हैव टू मूव टू पेज नंबर 8. नाउ the states are protesting because according to state it is the interference in the law and order. So law and order is a subject under the state list. Now according to states this is the violation of the principle of federalism. Now but we have to see that why the Union Home Ministry has announced such a change. तो इसमें अगर हम देखेंगे so the information is over here that it will lead to establishment of uniformity in defining the area within which the BSF can operate. ओके, तो एक यूनिफॉर्मिटी है. जैसे हम जानते हैं कि पहले गुजरात में 80 किलोमीटर तक का एरिया था, बट नाउ पंजाब में 15 किलोमीटर तक का एरिया था, बट नाउ थ्रू आउट द बॉर्डर इट विल बी 50 किलोमीटर. नाउ क्या BSF के पास कितने पावर्स होते हैं? सो सी द BSF दे हैव द पावर फॉर डिटेनिंग, ओके, और कंसाइनमेंट, सीजिंग द कंसाइनमेंट. दे डोंट हैव द पावर टू प्रोसिक्यूट द क्राइम सस्पेक्ट. तो जो प्रोसिक्यूटिंग द क्राइम सस्पेक्ट होता है, इसका पावर जो होता है वो लोकल पुलिस के पास होता है. सो वंस द BSF हैज कैप्चर्ड समवन विद इन 24 आवर्स दे हैज टू बी हैंडेड ओवर टू द लोकल पुलिस. सो दिस इज द इम्पॉर्टेंट न्यूज ओवर हियर. द सेकेंड इम्पॉर्टेंट इंफॉर्मेशन विच इज कमिंग, सो द सेकेंड इम्पॉर्टेंट न्यूज इज कमिंग फ्रॉम अरुणाचल प्रदेश. तो हमने पहले भी किया हुआ था तवांग के बारे में. So Tawang is a disputed area in Arunachal Pradesh which China claims that it is the part of Tibetan Autonomous Region, but since it is the part of Arunachal Pradesh, hence it is the part of India. अब यहाँ पे issue क्या है? Our Vice President M. Venkaiah Naidu, he visited Arunachal Pradesh and China protested on that, but it has been refuted by the Ministry of External Affairs saying that Arunachal Pradesh is the integral part of इंडिया. अब यहाँ पे अगर हम देखेंगे तो करेंटली बहुत न्यूज़ आ रही है अबाउट द ईयर 1988. नाउ वाई दिस ईयर 1988 इज़ इम्पॉर्टेंट इन इंडो चाइना रिलेशन. तो इसको समझने के लिए हमें थोड़ा सा बेसिक्स में जाना पड़ेगा if we just see the 1962 war, so after 1962 war, none of the Indian prime minister visited China, but it was in 1988 when Prime Minister Rajiv Gandhi, the former Prime Minister Rajiv Gandhi, he visited China for the first time after the 1962 war. Now this 1988 war, it led to the establishment of framework for resolving the border dispute, which led to the signing of border, ये बहुत ही important agreement है between India and China, border peace and tranquility agreement 1993. So according to this agreement, maintaining peace at border is prerequisite for solving the border dispute. Then अगर हम गालवान वैली का क्लैश देखें, या रिसेंटली जो 13th कमांडर लेवल टॉक जो फेल हो गया, जो हमने परसों के न्यूज़पेपर में पढ़ा था, इट फेल टू अराइव एट कंसेंसस फॉर डिसएंगेजमेंट एट हॉट स्प्रिंग एरिया विच इज़ पेट्रोलिंग पॉइंट 15, ये हमने पिछले दिनों के न्यूज़पेपर में पढ़ा हुआ है. सो दिस इज ऑल बिकॉज इट इज़ इन द वायलेशन ऑफ दिस बॉर्डर पीस एंड ट्रैंक्विलिटी एग्रीमेंट 1993. नाउ द नेक्स्ट न्यूज़ इज दैट NCR, द नेशनल कैपिटल रीजन जो है वो राजस्थान, हरियाणा, उत्तर प्रदेश के कुछ डिस्ट्रिक्ट्स में फैला हुआ है. नाउ द NCR प्लानिंग बोर्ड विच इज़ कॉल्ड एज NCRPB, विच फंक्शंस अंडर द यूनियन मिनिस्ट्री ऑफ हाउसिंग एंड अर्बन अफेयर्स, which is headed by Hardeep Puri. Now they have declared that they will be limiting the NCR area 100 km from Rajghat area in New Delhi, and there will be 1 km extension on important transport corridors like National Highway, Expressway, State Highways and Regional Rapid Transport System. यहाँ पे हरियाणा ने प्रपोज किया कि there should be a smaller radius, smaller than the 100 km, but the NCRPB has generated a consensus that there should be a 100 km radius from Rajghat for determining the national capital region. अब हम आगे की न्यूज़ की तरफ चलते हैं. Now one of the important news in yesterday's newspaper was that Ashish Mishra was given a 14-day judicial custody, and now he applied for bail, so bail has been denied to him. Now Ashish Mishra has been arrested for an incident which happened in Tinkonia village of Lakhimpur Kheri. Lakhimpur Kheri is the largest district of Uttar Pradesh. Then the next important news is coming from that 14 new judges for High Court of Telangana, Kerala and Odisha has been appointed. So the Law Ministry on Wednesday notified the appointment of 14 new judges to the Telangana, Odisha and Kerala High Court. Okay, अगर हम इसमें अपॉइंटमेंट्स में देखें, so we will see that 12 are judicial officers. Okay, one is advocate and one is the member of income tax appellate tribunal. So P. Madhavi Devi, she is from ITAT and who has been appointed as the judge of the Telangana High Court. Now who recommends the appointment of judges of the High Court? ये क्वेश्चंस अक्सर आते रहते हैं. So over here see the answer is all the appointments are part of the recommendations made by the Supreme Court Collegium. तो ये बहुत ही इंपॉर्टेंट क्वेश्चन भी है, क्लैट में भी आ सकता है, एलेट में या बाकी लॉ एंट्रेंस एग्जाम में आ सकता है कि इवन फॉर द अपॉइंटमेंट ऑफ हाई कोर्ट जजेस इट इज द सुप्रीम कोर्ट कॉलेजियम विच मेक्स द रिकमेंडेशन. द नेक्स्ट इंफॉर्मेशन इज कमिंग अबाउट द प्राइम मिनिस्टर गति शक्ति इनिशिएटिव. इसके बारे में हमने कल भी न्यूज़पेपर में पढ़ा हुआ था दैट इट इज़ द इंफ्रास्ट्रक्चर डेवलपमेंट प्रोजेक्ट. अब जो प्रधानमंत्री गति शक्ति है, इट इज़ फोकसिंग ऑन मल्टी मॉडल इंफ्रास्ट्रक्चर डेवलपमेंट. मल्टी मॉडल कनेक्टिविटी इंफ्रास्ट्रक्चर डेवलपमेंट का मतलब होता है कि वी विल डेवलप रोड्स, रेलवेज एंड अदर ट्रांसपोर्टेशन सिस्टम इन सच अ वे दैट इट विल लीड टू इंफ्रास्ट्रक्चर डेवलपमेंट एंड बेटर कनेक्टिविटी इन इंडिया. सो दैट इज़ द गोल ऑफ PM गति शक्ति. सो अगर एग्जाम में क्वेश्चन आता है कि व्हाट इज PM गति शक्ति, सो इट इज़ द मास्टर प्लान फॉर सिंक्रोनाइजिंग कनेक्टिविटी इंफ्रास्ट्रक्चर प्रोजेक्ट्स अक्रॉस डिफरेंट मोड्स ऑफ ट्रांसपोर्ट. मोड्स ऑफ ट्रांसपोर्ट क्या होता है? लाइक रेलवे, रोड्स, एयरवेज, वाटरवेज, दिस आर द डिफरेंट मोड्स ऑफ ट्रांसपोर्ट. नाउ व्हाई दिस मल्टी मोडल कनेक्टिविटी इज रिक्वायर्ड? because it will help India to realize the dream of becoming the business capital of the world. उसके बाद यहाँ पे एक दादरी का एग्जाम्पल लिया गया है. दादरी इज अ एरिया इन नोएडा, ग्रेटर नोएडा. इट हैज़ बीन डेवलप्ड एज द इंटीग्रेटेड इंडस्ट्रियल टाउनशिप. नाउ दादरी का एक इम्पॉर्टेंट इंफॉर्मेशन यहाँ पे ये है कि दैट दादरी विच इज़ इन ग्रेटर नोएडा, इट इज़ ऑन द जंक्शन ऑफ ईस्टर्न फ्राइट कॉरिडोर एंड वेस्टर्न फ्राइट कॉरिडोर. सो ईस्टर्न फ्राइट कॉरिडोर जो है इट कनेक्ट्स लुधियाना इन पंजाब टू डाउनकुनी इन वेस्ट बंगाल, और वेस्टर्न फ्राइट कॉरिडोर इट कनेक्ट्स JNPT, इट इज़ अ पोर्ट इन मुंबई, टू दादरी नियर दिल्ली. नाउ हम एक न्यूज़ पढ़ते जा रहे हैं अबाउट द सीजर ऑफ 3000 kg ऑफ हीरोइन फ्रॉम मुंद्रा पोर्ट इन गुजरात. नाउ वी ऑलरेडी नो दैट दिस ड्रग वॉज कमिंग फ्रॉम बंदर अब्बास port from Iran, and in Iran it came from Afghanistan. The second information which we know is that this 3000 kg heroin was transported under the false consignment of talc, okay, which is used for making powder and different kind, and it was destined to reach Visakhapatnam. Later on, the Department of Revenue Intelligence, which has seized this drug, the case was transferred to National Investigation Agency. Now India and Iran, they are discussing way to how to fight the drug trafficking from Afghanistan. Now there is one area in Afghanistan जिसको हम कहते हैं Golden Crescent. That area is called as Golden Crescent. ये बहुत ही important है from exam point of view. This composed of 3 countries. It is a area which lies on the crossroad of Iran, Pakistan and Afghanistan. It is the world's highest illicit opium producing area. Now Iran and India both are impacted by illegal drug trafficking, and hence now they are devising the way of how to overcome this drug trafficking, which it is expected that is going to rise after the takeover of Taliban in Afghanistan. Now Nirmala Sitharaman, she has made that reports of coal crisis is baseless, but if we just see over here that NLCIL, NLC India Limited, it has promised to ramp up the coal production to 10 million tons per annum. This is the news. It is it has a coal mine in Talabira in Odisha. From there it is going to increase its production. Now duplicates from Nepal add to India's Darjeeling tea worries. Now Darjeeling tea जो है इसके 3 वैरायटी होते हैं. कौन कौन से? ब्लैक वैरायटी, वाइट वैरायटी एंड देन द थर्ड वैरायटी इज ग्रीन. इन तीनों वैरायटी को GI टैग मिला हुआ है. GI टैग इज जोग्राफिकल इंडिकेशन टैग विच शोज दैट द पर्टिकुलर प्रोडक्ट इज ऑरिजिनेटिंग फ्रॉम दार्जिलिंग. दैट इज कॉल्ड एज GI टैग. नाउ द प्रॉब्लम ओवर हियर इज दैट रिसेंटली द इंडियन टी मार्केट इज ऑलरेडी facing a competition from cheaper tea products imported from Kenya and Sri Lanka. But now the third problem is that duplicate Darjeeling tea from Nepal, which is flooding the Indian market. This has added to the worry of Darjeeling tea growers. Now the Tea Board of India, which is headquartered in Kolkata, it is taking the cognizance of the matter, and it has suggested that 2 things are very important for keeping this cheaper product from Nepal under control. The first is that all the products which are being transported to India, they have to go under the phytosanitary certification from FSSAI. The second, that robust rule of origin should be mandatory for all these products before they enter India. Now yesterday one of the big news which was coming was that Covaxin is soon to get approval for 2 to 18 years old children. Okay, for the vaccination of 2 to 18 years old children. Now there are certain experts who are saying that protecting the children is important, but children seldom develops the symptoms, severe symptoms. So it is better to focus on those who need it most. So the younger population, the adolescent populations are more prepared to face this disease. They never encounter the severe disease, they never develop the severe disease. So it is better to focus on the older population who have not got the vaccine. Now these two news are related, and there is a background for this news. The background for this news is that the targeted killing of civilians in Jammu and Kashmir has already increased Then security forces are already carrying out search operations in Jammu and Kashmir Valley, and they are targeting the terrorists and they are neutralizing them. ये न्यूज़ हम 3 दिन से कर रहे हैं. यहाँ पे पहला तो ये है कि द सिक्योरिटी हैज़ बीन टाइटन इन J&K टू allay the fears of local population, especially Kashmiri Pandit and non-local laborers who have been targeted in last few days by the terrorists. Okay, now the second process is over here. Now how to win the confidence of the people? So Karan Singh, though he is from Congress party, he has said that we should start the political process in Jammu and Kashmir. So he has called for a delimitation commission to fix a timeline and to delineate the constituency, which is important part for holding the elections in Jammu and Kashmir. And then after the delimitation process, free and fair elections is to be held in Jammu and Kashmir, so that to win the confidence of the people and then to fight the terrorists. The news which we did yesterday was that EU and Taliban meet, where European Union has given euro 1 billion assistance to Taliban government to overcome the humanitarian crisis in Afghanistan, which is currently taking place. Now the Taliban, it has warned US and EU that if they are not helped, if they are not provided assistance in fighting the humanitarian crisis which is engulfing the Afghanistan, soon there can be a refugee crisis and US and EU can be impacted. Now हमारे प्राइम मिनिस्टर ने कल G20 के मीटिंग में कहा था कि द ह्यूमैनिटेरियन असिस्टेंस टू अफगानिस्तान शुड बी प्रोवाइडेड. Okay, but at the same time he also called for that Taliban should commit that it follows all the demand made in United Nations Security Council Resolution 2593. अभी यूनाइटेड नेशन सिक्योरिटी काउंसिल रेजोल्यूशन 2593 के कुछ इंपॉर्टेंट पॉइंट ये हैं कि फर्स्ट, दैट तालिबान विल नॉट अलाउ अफगान टेरिटरी टू बिकम टेररिस्ट हेवन्स. सेकेंड ये था कि तालिबान विल रिस्पेक्ट द ह्यूमन राइट्स स्पेशली ऑफ माइनॉरिटीज, वुमेन एंड चिल्ड्रन. नाउ अगर हम वाशिंगटन, यूरोपियन यूनियन, यूएस या इंडिया का अप्रोच देखें, सो यहाँ पे इंडिया का जो अप्रोच है वो ह्यूमैनिटेरियन असिस्टेंस करने का है, बट इंडिया टिल नाउ हैज़ नॉट कमिटेड टू इट. बट वाशिंगटन मीन्स यूनाइटेड स्टेट्स एंड EU, they have ready to back humanitarian initiatives in Afghanistan, okay, but they are not ready to provide direct support to Taliban without taking guarantee from Taliban that they are going to respect the human rights of minorities, women and children. Okay, now यहाँ पे एक जो फैक्चुअल इंफॉर्मेशन है जो एग्जाम पॉइंट ऑफ व्यू से बहुत ज़्यादा इंपॉर्टेंट है वो ये है कि यहाँ पे द फर्स्ट इज कि एक्टिंग फॉरेन मिनिस्टर ऑफ अफगानिस्तान का नाम दिया हुआ है, हु इज़ अमीर खान मुत्ताकी. द सेकेंड इज दैट हु इज़ द प्रेसिडेंट ऑफ यूरोपियन कमीशन, देन उर्सुला वोन देर लेयन. ओके, शी इज़ द प्रेसिडेंट ऑफ यूरोपियन यूनियन कमीशन. द नेक्स्ट इज about the issue between India and Sri Lanka which is called as fisherman issue. इस इशू को समझने के लिए हमें थोड़ा सा एक मैप देखना पड़ेगा इंडिया का. So if we just see the map of India, so over here is Pak Bay and then the area, a small water body between India and Pakistan, we call it Pak Bay. One side is Pak Bay and another side is Gulf of Mannar. Gulf of Mannar is the biodiversity rich area. Now what is happening in Pak Bay is that in Pak Bay the fishermen of Tamil Nadu and Sri Lanka both are catching the fish. Now what is happening over here, that while catching the fish in Pak Bay there is no clear cut delineation between India and Sri Lanka. So what happens that whenever you are in the international water, the fisherman has to respect the international law. They should not cross the maritime boundary and they should not enter into the maritime boundary of another nation. If they do that, then the Navy of Sri Lanka, they fire on Indian fishermen and killing them. So this has become one of the important issue of maritime, you can say maritime dispute between Sri Lanka and India, which both the nations want a quick resolution. Now Army Chief Narawane calls on Rajapaksa. So Army Chief has visited Colombo. After it is followed by the visit of Ministry of External Affairs, the Foreign Secretary Harshvardhan Singla, and now Army Chief is also there in Sri Lanka. Now they have called for more collaboration in army exercise. One of the army exercise between India and Sri Lanka, which is annually carried out and it is still being carried out, is Mitra Shakti. It is a bilateral military exercise between India and Sri Lanka. Now here we are talking about a person who acted in a very famous film called as Star Trek, and his character name was Captain James T. Kirk. Then his real life name is William Shatner. So William Shatner, who was the part of Star Trek, who played Captain James T. Kirk, now he was the part of a 4 crew member of New Shepard. Now what is New Shepard? New Shepard, it is a space capsule from Blue Origin. Blue Origin is a company owned by former Amazon CEO Jeff Bezos. So at the age of 82, we can see that this person traveled to space. Now Turkey slams Russia US after Syria attack. Now what is happening over here is that in Syria there is one organization which is called as Kurdistan Workers Party. Okay, so now what is happening here in Kurdistan Workers Party, the members of this party are carrying out attack in Turkey. So Turkey has put the blame on Russia and US. If you will just see the map of Turkey, so Turkey, it is surrounded by Syria, then Iraq, then Iran, then Armenia, and then we have Georgia. So these are the countries which are surrounding Turkey. So due to volatile situation in Syria, the Kurdish militias, they are carrying out attack in Turkey also. The next biggest news which we are getting from economy is about the two news, aluminium industry and India-China trade. So we already know that there is a coal shortage in India. Now coal is also one of the important input for aluminium industry. Aluminium is produced from an ore which is called as bauxite. हम बॉक्साइट से एल्यूमिनियम बनाते हैं, और ये जो एल्यूमिनियम मैन्युफैक्चरिंग इंडस्ट्रीज होते हैं, दे आर वेरी एनर्जी इंटेंसिव, मतलब कि इनके जो मैन्युफैक्चरिंग प्रोसेस हैं वो कभी बंद नहीं हो सकते. इफ़ दे गेट क्लोज डाउन, इट टेक्स ऑलमोस्ट अ ईयर टू गेट द डिजायर्ड लेवल ऑफ मेटल प्योरिटी, दैट इज एल्यूमिनियम प्योरिटी. नाउ नॉर्मली जो हमारे कोल इंडिया के जो हमारे एल्यूमिनियम प्रोडक्शन प्लांट होते हैं, they have their own coal mines which is called as captive mines. Second, either they will have the permanent buying mechanism with fuel supply agreement with Coal India Limited. Okay, now why it is necessary? Because the aluminium production plant, they need to operate 365 days and throughout 24/7. They want uninterrupted water power supply, but due to a drop in coal production and rise in import prices, even the aluminium production is also has gone down in India. The second is India's trade with China is set to exceed $100 billion in 2021 for the first time in 2000. Okay, for the first time in this year. So India's trade with China is set to cross $100 billion mark for the first time in 2021, and there is a jump of 30% jump from pre-pandemic level. If we will just see some of the basic information over here, so we will see that India's biggest export to China are iron ore, cotton and other raw material based commodities. मीन्स वी आर एक्सपोर्टिंग मेनली रॉ मटेरियल्स टू चाइना. अब देखिए हम इंपोर्ट क्या करते हैं, वी इंपोर्ट फिनिश्ड प्रोडक्ट्स लाइक मैकेनिकल एंड इलेक्ट्रिकल मशीनरी इन लार्ज क्वांटिटीज, देन मेडिकल सप्लाईज. नाउ वी आर बैक टू एडिटोरियल्स. आज का जो एडिटोरियल है इट इज़ अबाउट द इकोनॉमी. नाउ सी, here the author is discussing that from past few days we are witnessing a very robust economic data. If we see the index of industrial production and consumer price index, both are released by National Statistics Organization. They are showing a growth in output. So industrial index of industrial production जो होता है it has rose by 11.9%. मतलब index of industrial production it shows the growth in volume of industrial output. So it has rose by 11.9%. अगर हम इन्फ्लेशन की बात करें तो इन्फ्लेशन जो है वो 4.35% हो गया है. मतलब पहले इट हैज़ कम डाउन टू 4.35%. अगर हम IIP में अगर इंडेक्स ऑफ इंडस्ट्रियल प्रोडक्शन में बात करें तो स्पेशली द थ्री सेक्टर्स माइनिंग, मैन्युफैक्चरिंग, इलेक्ट्रिसिटी, they are reporting the improvement of 23.6%, 9.7% and 16%. But अगर हम थोड़ा सा डेटा को अच्छे से पढ़ें so we will come to know that this higher percentage is coming just because last year there was COVID-19 lockdown and there was almost no production in this area or there was negative production in this area. तो अगर हम लास्ट ईयर के कंपैरिजन से अगर करेंगे तो हम पाएंगे कि डेफिनेटली वी विल हैव गुड परसेंटेज. बट अगर हम प्री पैंडमिक लेवल से अगर इसको कंपेयर करते हैं सो वी विल सी दैट द आउटपुट हैज़ एक्चुअली श्रैंक बाय 0.2%. अगर कोई सेक्टर अगर अच्छा परफॉर्म किया है देन इट इज़ ओनली नॉन कंज्यूमर ड्यूरेबल्स एंड कंस्ट्रक्शन गुड्स. दे हैव पोस्टेड इंक्रीज सिंस जुलाई. अगर हम कंज्यूमर ड्यूरेबल्स कैटेगरी की बात करें सो the slowdown in the consumer durables category it reflects the lack of demand for white goods among the pandemic. So हमारा जो अभी growth process है it is not that our production has increased and has reached the pre-pandemic level just because we had a very low production last year due to lockdown. That's why this year figure is very good. अगर हम इन्फ्लेशन की बात करें तो हमने कल भी डिस्कस किया था कि इन्फ्लेशन में फूड इन्फ्लेशन तो नीचे आया है बट की प्रोटीन सोर्सेस फिश, मीट, पल्सेस इन सब का प्रोडक्शन अभी भी बहुत ज़्यादा है. उसके बाद हम ट्रांसपोर्ट एंड कम्युनिकेशन की बात करें तो अभी भी वहाँ पे जो इन्फ्लेशन है इट इज़ एट 9.5%. तो यहाँ पे क्या होता है कि द ओनली वे टू ब्रिंग डाउन द इन्फ्लेशन इन नियर टर्म इज दैट गवर्नमेंट शुड कंसिडर कटिंग टैक्सेस ऑन पेट्रोलियम एंड डीजल. द नेक्स्ट इज अबाउट एडिंग अफगान्स. यहाँ पे इंडिया का जो कल मीटिंग हुआ, जो हमने कल मीटिंग के बारे में पढ़ा था, जो जहाँ पे प्राइम मिनिस्टर मोदी ही टॉक्ड अबाउट द लूमिंग ह्यूमैनिटेरियन क्राइसिस इन अफगानिस्तान एंड वेयर ही कॉल्ड फॉर इंटरनेशनल कम्युनिटी टू प्रोवाइड अफगानिस्तान विद इमीडिएट एंड अनहिंडर्ड एक्सेस टू ह्यूमैनिटेरियन असिस्टेंस. ओके, now over here the main challenge between in Afghanistan is that how to ensure the humanitarian crisis is stopped in Afghanistan and to ensure that Taliban starts giving women, children and minorities their rights. Okay, तो यहाँ पे अगर हम देखेंगे तो कुछ कंट्रीज ऐसी हैं दे हैव स्टार्टेड प्रोवाइडिंग फाइनेंशियल असिस्टेंस फॉर ह्यूमैनिटेरियन पर्पस. तो अगर हम यूरोपियन यूनियन की बात करें सो दे हैव कमिटेड $1.15 बिलियन. देन अगर हम यूएस एंड चाइना की बात करें सो दे हैव कॉन्ट्रीब्यूटेड $1.1 बिलियन सेम. बट इंडिया ने अभी तक कुछ ऐसा साइन नहीं किया है. क्यों? बिकॉज इंडिया इज़ पर्टिकुलरली कंसर्न्ड अबाउट द humanitarian crisis and it is particularly concerned about that what will be the future of Afghanistan, how the Taliban will make sure that Afghanistan does not become a terrorist heaven. Now अगर हम गवर्नमेंट ऑफ इंडिया का रिस्पॉन्स देखें तो हम यहाँ पे देख सकते हैं कि हमने अपना जो वीज़ा कंसलेट है वो क्लोज कर दिया है. हमने जो ई वीज़ाज़ है वो बहुत कम लोगों को अभी तक दिया है. सो वी कैन से दैट India is following a wait and watch approach. Okay, but still the article is calling for India that India should start helping the Afghanistan and should stop the humanitarian crisis in Afghanistan. Otherwise not only Afghanistan but whole world will pay the price. Now if we talk about this article on the global war on terror, so this article is all about a very comprehensive article and it is showing that how the things have changed. So यहाँ पे पहले हम जाने से पहले कुछ चीज़ों का मतलब समझ लेंगे, कुछ चीज़ों का मीनिंग समझ लेते हैं. एक यहाँ पे जो वर्ड है जो बहुत फ्रिक्वेंटली यूज हुआ है, दैट इज सरमाइज. सो सरमाइज का मतलब होता है दैट टू सपोर्ट सम आइडिया फॉर विच देर इज नो एविडेंस और वेरी लेस एविडेंस, दैट इज द मीनिंग ऑफ सरमाइज. देन द नेक्स्ट इज एकोलाइट. एकोलाइट का मतलब होता है फॉलोअर और असिस्टेंस. अब अगर हम इसको देखें ध्यान से तो यहाँ पे द आर्टिकल स्टार्ट्स विद ग्लोबल वॉर ऑन टेरर एंड it brings into question that whether global war on terror was a failure or it was a success. Then the article goes on discussing what was the problem with the terrorist groups like Al-Qaeda and what was the problem with the global war on terror and how it has not destroyed the terrorism or wiped out the terrorism from the world. Now this global war on terror, it is, you can say, era in which the US invaded Afghanistan, Iraq and other countries wherever there was terrorism, okay, and it started with Afghanistan. So if we just look at the perspective, okay, so what was the reason behind Osama bin Laden carrying out 9/11 attack? So first of all, his ideology was driven by geopolitics and religious objectives, and he thought that delivering a very heavy blow against the US by carrying out 9/11 attacks, it will force US to stop its policies where the Muslims are hurt or in many areas of conflict. But the author says that Osama bin Laden, he failed in his attempt, okay, and over the time Al-Qaeda faced the wrath of the US and ultimately it was eliminated from Afghanistan. So the global war on terror was successful in one term, that it did not allow terrorism to pose a threat throughout the world. Now the second is why the terrorist groups like Al-Qaeda and then Islamic State, how they failed. So they failed because the Afghanistan and Pakistan, they provided safe havens to these terrorist groups, which was no longer provided once US invaded Afghanistan. The second was that this leadership of terrorist groups, they did not have any vision. Then there was a lack of visibility of these leaders. There was no movement. There was disruption in many of their plans, which ultimately lead to loss of momentum. Now can we say that we have won our battle against the terrorism? So the author says no, we cannot say that, because if we see that major terrorist group, even they are smaller, even if they are not big like Al-Qaeda and ISIS, they currently follow the sophisticated and mass casualty attacks. Then later on it goes on saying that the main reason for terrorism, okay, is still there, because if we see that there is a broad sweep acquired by radical Islam, it has given rise to many terrorist groups. If we will see, like Haqqanis, then Hafiz Saeed of Lashkar-e-Taiba, Maulana Masood Azhar of Jaish-e-Mohammed. Then the next it goes on saying that because of the US withdrawal from Afghanistan, many terrorist groups like Al-Qaeda, IS, Daesh, LET, JAM, the Resistance Front in India, Al-Shabaab in Africa, they have gained a fresh lease of life. Now they think that they can, if the superpower like US can be defeated, then other nations can also be defeated. Now if we talk about India, so over here the particular concern for India is Kashmir, which we are already reading in our newspaper that the Resistance Front, which is a shadow organization of Lashkar-e-Taiba, has carried out civilian attacks in Jammu and Kashmir. Along with that, the Jammu and Kashmir can also lead to proliferation of other terrorist groups, and other terrorist groups like Islamic State, they can also form their base in Jammu and Kashmir. by using internet. The second, it says, the article says is that if we see the type of attack which terrorists are following, so if you will see that the zero attack has been replaced, 0-day attack like न्यूयॉर्क एंड मुंबई, कि एक दिन में, एक ही टाइम में मास डैमेज करना है, दैट इज कॉल्ड एज 0-day अटैक. अचानक से अटैक करेंगे और मैस कैजुअलिटी करेंगे. सो दिस 0-day अटैक हैज़ बीन रिप्लेस्ड बाय अ रिमोट कंट्रोल टेरर अटैक्स. ओके, इसमें खास करके इस्लामिक स्टेट स्पेशलाइज करता है. दे यूज़ इंटरनेट फॉर रेडिकलाइजेशन ऑफ लोकल पीपल. दे ट्रेन देम हाउ टू कैरी आउट द टेरर अटैक. ओके, द नेक्स्ट इज दैट terror organizations now they are using internet also for carrying out terror attacks. One of the new thing which they are using is that is called as cyber sabotage and cyber terrorism. Cyber sabotage का मतलब क्या होता है? Cyber sabotage का मतलब होता है कि they will hack the system of the nation. Okay, जो साइबर सिस्टम होता है दूसरे नेशन का, उसको वो इन्फिल्ट्रेट करेंगे और उसमें उसको डैमेज करेंगे. साइबर टेररिज्म का मतलब होता है कि दे आर गोइंग टू यूज द इंटरनेट फॉर रेडिकलाइजेशन ऑफ local people. The next news is about the Nobel Prize. So this year's economic Nobel Prize, which is also called as Riksbank Prize in Economic Science, in the memory of Alfred Nobel. इसको हम नोबल प्राइज इन इकोनॉमिक्स भी कहते हैं. ये हर साल अक्टूबर 11 को दिया जाता है. Now this year it was given to David Card, Joshua D. Angrist and Guido V. W. Embens. Now this year the focus was on these three economists. They talked about the causal relationship in economics. Causal relationship का मतलब होता है कि how one event impacts the other event, that is called as causal relationship. Now here their technique which is based on the natural experiment is different from the RCT. RCT is called as randomized control trial. Okay, now the randomized control trial was propounded by Abhijit Banerjee, Esther Duflo and Michael Kramer. They got Nobel Prize last year. This year the Nobel Prize has been awarded to the people who are working in natural experiment. So over here this type of experiment, the causal relationship, it has helped in demystifying some of the very commonly believed notions, such as कि लोग पहले बिलीव करते थे कि अगर मिनिमम वेज इंक्रीज होगा तो एम्प्लॉयमेंट कम हो जाएगा. बट दे हैव शोन इट थ्रू देयर causal relationship natural experiment techniques that no, in Pennsylvania the minimum wage was increased, but employment there was no decrease in employment. Why? Because the firm they thought that they may pass on the increasing cost of labor to the consumers. Now about the deconstructing climate finance. तो इसमें the background of this talk is going on about the 26th conference of parties of UNFCCC which is going to be held in Glasgow. यहाँ पे डेवलप्ड कंट्रीज ने पहले वादा किया था विद डेवलपिंग कंट्रीज दैट एवरी ईयर दे आर गोइंग टू प्रोवाइड $100 billion annually to developing countries for climate finance by 2025. Now most of the claims of the developed countries, which is represented by OECD, Organization for Economic Cooperation and Development, which is the collection of developed economies, इन्होंने जो फंडिंग किया है उसका पूरा इसमें एनालिसिस है. सो द टाइप ऑफ फंडिंग विच दे आर डूइंग इज मोस्टली प्राइवेट फाइनेंस एंड एक्सपोर्ट credits. They are not giving public finance or directly financing the developing countries. If you will just see that bilateral loans, and the loans provided by multilateral climate funds, they were non-concessional. Okay, तो यहाँ पे जो नेचर है फंड का, इट इज़ फोकसिंग मोर एज अ प्राइवेट फाइनेंस, इट इज़ नॉट डायरेक्टली कमिंग फ्रॉम द गवर्नमेंट. सेकेंड थिंग यहाँ पे ये है कि द फाइनेंस इज फोकसिंग ऑन एडेप्टेशन नॉट ऑन मिटिगेशन. जबकि अगर हम ग्रीन क्लाइमेट फंड की बात करें जो इंचियन में बेस्ड है, it promised to provide fund equally for adaptation and mitigation. So अगर हम इसको इंडिया के कॉन्टेक्स्ट में देखें तो रिसेंटली द जॉन कैरी यूएस इनवॉय फॉर क्लाइमेट चेंज इन इंडिया he claimed that the few $1 trillion of private investment will be mobilized. Means private investment, not public investment. The next is about sowing better to eat better. So this is about the sustainable agricultural system to be followed. Now World Food Day, which is annually observed on 16th October. Okay, so the theme for this year's World Food Day is, as we can see over here, our actions are our future. Better production, better nutrition, better environment, and a better life. The World Food Day is observed to commemorate the founding of Food and Agriculture Organization in 1948. Now, the Food and Agriculture Organization, collaboration with Niti Aayog and Ministry of Agriculture, has set up a dialogue framework for sustainable agriculture in India. Now, if we see that why we need such a dialogue framework to have a agri-food system which is sustainable. So if we will see that some the indicators. So the 5th National Health Family Survey suggests that nutrition related indicators have worsened in most of the states. The second is that agriculture is very important because India produces about 18% of India feeds about 18% of world's population, and agriculture contributes about 16.5% to India's GDP and employs 42.3% of its workforce. Okay, now if we just see this framework, which is very important, that FAO in collaboration with Niti Aayog and Agriculture Ministry has evolved a national dialogue for transition into more sustainable agri-food systems. Okay, so why we need it? Because a sustainable agri-food system is the one in which there is a variety of sufficient, nutritious and safe goods available to all at affordable price. The second is that it focuses on reducing malnutrition, less food wastage and more resilient food supply chain. Now the Sustainable Development Goal 3 which aims to end hunger is related to this food system. So that's all for today. We will meet tomorrow again with the new Hindu analysis. Till then, take care. Have a nice day. Thank you.